Hello everyone, this is Crusaders versus Omnics Part 2. So in Part 1 I did my first test of a Crusader versus Omnic battle in Eichenwalde on defense to see if Reinhardt-like characters would be able to hold off a group of Bastions. I did 1v2 because I can't get an AI Reinhardt on my side, otherwise I'd do higher numbers to start. And it was on medium difficulty, and it worked out pretty well. Had to run for a lot of health, but the Bastions tended to stay in turret form and not really take the point. So I could kind of see a Crusader at that level holding off some amount of Omnics for a little while. Now the second test, I've decided to increase their difficulty to hard. Very likely when I do my third test I'll bump them back down to medium, but I'll have 3 of them. So without further ado, here is test 2 of Crusaders versus Omnics. It is worth noting, I'm not really great with Reinhardt. I'm pretty sure there'll be some people who watch this who go, well, if you really knew what you were doing, you could probably take on 4 of them at this difficulty. And you know what? There's a very good chance you might be right, but this is what I'm capable of doing, so, you know, that's all I can really do. Justice will be done. So I'm going to be playing fairly aggressive since Reinhardt's shield can only stop so much damage from a Bastion, especially if they go turret mode. So it's probably best just to smash them as early as I can and just keep healed, hale and hearty fighting them.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Hold fast! Do not let them through! They have come to claim what is ours! Don't let them! Much better!
Well, that's already going a little differently, just considering the sheer amount of aggression there. They're shooting a little more often on hard, so I am probably going to lose this first point without any real doubt in my mind. Now, we'll see how good they are at staying on a payload. Now, I already mentioned I'm not super good with Reinhardt, right? Right. I don't know how I missed that, but apparently I did. And this is just me versus 2 hard Bastions. And they got just a little bit smarter. That was a much more aggressive move than they were making on medium.
Not give
I mean, half the time they were sitting around in turret form, just like waiting for me rather than actually coming after me. So I'm going to say at this point, yeah, while I may not be great with Reinhardt, there does seem to be a certain level of they would have a very hard time dealing with this kind of issue. Just, I mean, they just don't seem equipped. Now maybe I should have came up there with my shield up to prevent that, but man, I mean, Reinhardt is a really tough customer when he's got somebody else behind him providing fire support of some type, but when that's not the case, he's just kind of this very squishy guy who kind of sort of has armor. Well, this is starting to go a little better than it was. Now using this as like cover. Wishing I could hit with that. Even then, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, I should know better, but at the same time, like, that is the whole... Oh, man. And that got even worse. Now I will say that I'm not sure if the average Omnic can do the whole tank transformation thing or not. We haven't really seen that. So that might not be the case. But I will say that yeah, right now I'm still feeling a level of doubt on any way that the Crusaders would be able to fend this kind of thing off without just being annihilated. Now, granted, this is hard AI. Now, maybe what I'll do next is I'll throw it on easy with higher numbers.
Barrier is failing.
60 seconds remaining.
I've noticed on hard difficulty they seem to almost kind of auto go for headshots, so
30 seconds remaining. Double
I am on fire! Come here and get burned.
now if I'm lucky, they won't get the next however many seconds and get back here.
seconds remaining.
And then, yeah, I guess I win the match, but that'd still be a lot of dead Crusaders along the way here.
Victory.
So, yeah, that was a lot different than the first test. In the first one, they didn't even take the first point. On this one, they nearly took all of it. So this was a lot more desperate fighting them on hard difficulty than it was on medium. I can pretty much already tell that if I was to take it as 3 hard on... I mean, if I put 3 of them against me on hard difficulty, I'm almost sure they'd take it. So 3-to-1 odds and they're an advanced AI? Probably not. But let's try checking things out with more on medium.